I own my own animal hospital. I'm a veterinarian, have been for almost 20 years now, and I've owned my practice for 9 years, and I have some very, very big emotions about this ruling. I could not be happier. This is the most fantastic thing. Listen, there have been a lot of decisions lately out in the world that make me crazy and keep me up at night. This is something to celebrate about. I am so happy. Back in 2010, before I opened my own animal hospital, I had just had one of my children, and I could not continue the schedule that I had at the clinic. My child had some special needs, and I had asked for a slightly reduced schedule. This is the funny part. I wanted to go from 60 hours a week to 40, and I was told full-time or no time. So I had to take no time, which meant that I had to find a different job. Except I had a non-compete, which meant that with a newborn, with special needs, and other small children, which is no employer's problem, but this is what I had to go through, because of my non-compete, I had to drive 28 miles one way. I had to work for someone who was not in my community. I had to abandon all of my patients. I had at that point been practicing for 6 years. I had patients and clients I cared about. I had to abandon all of them to go work at a different facility outside of my non-compete zone. And because everyone I was applying with knew that I had a non-compete, because it's a small community, people knew. And the place I was coming from was known for non-competes. I made half of what I should have been earning on an hourly basis. I worked Tuesday and Wednesday overnights and every single Sunday for 3 years until my non-compete expired. Actually, to supplement my income, I also had to work at a hospital doing relief work, which was a hospital I had left before going to my second employer. So as a veterinarian, I had 3 previous employers before I opened my clinic. I left the first employer to go do exclusive emergency work. It was the emergency facility that had the non-compete. And when I was faced with changing my schedule and dealing with a non-compete, I went back to the first hospital to see if I could do relief work. And I had to sit through a meeting with all the doctors who were working there, who were there when I was there before I left. And I had to go through a process of making sure they were okay with me coming back as a relief doctor since I had left. And I got to sit in a meeting with the owner, the hospital director, and all the doctors, and listen to one of the doctors say, "Oh yeah, I'm good with you coming back. Like, it's cool. We always liked you as a doctor. We just didn't like you as a person." And because of my non-compete, I had to suck it up. Just a few months after my non-compete expired, I opened up my animal hospital back in the town where I lived, and I had to start from scratch. I had no clients. I had no patients. Gratefully, there were a few people who followed me and waited for the new hospital to open, but like that one non-compete changed the entire trajectory of my career. I don't know where I would be and what I'd be doing, what I would have accomplished if I didn't have to deal with that. So as an employer, I think this is fantastic. I don't want anyone working for me if they don't want to be there. I should create an environment that makes people want to stay. And if they don't want to stay, I want to leave on good terms, and I want them to go have a successful life somewhere else. I pay for employees to go to tech school and become licensed or credentialed technicians. Even in that scenario, there's no commitment to staying after being credentialed. So I'll pay for the entire school, they can get credentialed, and they could leave the next day and go work for somebody else, literally. Because I don't want someone staying if they don't want to be there. That's not for me to dictate. I don't get to say where somebody else works. I can't wait to see how this shakes out. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. You know, there are so many things wrong with the non-compete. I could go on and on and on. I will not bore you. I think this is fantastic.